Hi, my name is Jayshree and I'm a second year mechanical engineering student.
My name is Totiran Jagadisan from the Mechanical Engineering Department.
Hello, my name is Hanifan Mirza, taking Mechanical Engineering.
My name is Muhammad Azif Faruqi.
Hi, I'm Osama.
We will be talking about
the impact of renewable energy on the Malaysian economy. And the title of our project is the impact of renewable energy on the Malaysian economy. So the reason we actually chose this topic is because Malaysia is considered one of the most developed countries in ASEAN, and it is also an emerging economic power that has invested a considerable amount in renewable energy. We also have a rising population of 7.4 million in 1957 to 32.7 million in 2020. So because of this, year by year, the energy demand in Malaysia has actually increased. So from 2015 to 2019, the energy demand has actually increased by 2.5% every year, and from 2020 to 2030 is projected to rise at a rate of 1.8% per year. So Malaysia has also been experiencing a massive infrastructure development and an increase in demand in the real estate sector. So with every problem comes a challenge, and the challenge here is actually being faced by the power sector in Malaysia, which is actually the sustainability issue of ensuring that the security and reliability of energy supply and the diversification of energy resources. So the issue of security and reliability is actually very crucial in ensuring the smooth implementation of development projects to stimulate economic growth in Malaysia. So during our project, we'll be answering 3 questions, which is, does the use of renewable energy improve human well-being and overall welfare? How and will the use of renewable energy increase the employment rate? And how does the use of renewable energy impact the gross domestic product?
I will be talking about does the use of renewable energy improve human well-being and overall welfare. Renewable energy is extracted from naturally replenished thermal energy and wind. Conventional energy sources, such as fossil fuels, is finite and emit carbon in the form of carbon dioxide and methane. Carbon dioxide and methane is 2 types of greenhouse gases that contribute considerably to global climate change acceleration. Renewable energy, on the other hand, either does not emit carbon or does so in a low carbon manner. Renewable energy consumes no carbon or is carbon neutral, meaning it absorbs as much as it produces. Malaysia's government has set a voluntary target of reducing carbon emissions by 40% in 2020. This is to aim to become a high-income country. Renewable energy is thought to improve human well-being in Malaysia. Human well-being refers to people's ability to live a life they appreciate, which may include cultural heritage, health, access to land, and natural resources. Thus, to answer the question, renewable energy does improve human well-being and overall welfare.
I would be answering the second research question, that is, will the use of renewable energy increase the employment rate? So renewable energy investment is rising at a higher pace than any other fossil fuel sector, with the potential to generate more jobs than any other. Local businessmen and green industries will see a major rise in revenue as a result of this move. Malaysia is experiencing a major demographic changes, a dramatic population increase, and rapid industrial growth. There are 3 main characteristics of green economic development. To begin with, it is economic growth that is fueled by specific economic sectors, namely the renewable energy sector. Secondly, it contains the goal to job growth. Thirdly, it is influenced by the strategic decisions of relevant policy actors, so government policies are very essential in this. The jobs are generated and sustained by renewable energy industry are the logical connection between renewable energy production and economic development. We could generate hundreds of thousands of jobs for people of all educational levels if we design for renewable energy. The sector encompasses everything from construction to manufacturing to investors and engineers. As more people start investing in renewable energy, there would be massive job opportunities for people in the country, therefore impacting the country's economy in a positive way. So answering the question, the use of renewable energy will increase the employment rate.
And I'll be talking about our third research question, which is how does the use of renewable energy impact the gross domestic product? Renewable energy is only economical for a country to pursue if it has some economic gain from it. By this, I mean that if Malaysia decides to pursue renewable energy, it doesn't risk damaging its GDP in the process. Now, what is GDP? GDP is the cumulative amount of goods and services produced within a country's territorial borders for a given period, usually a year. The GDP growth rate is a key measure of a country's economic success. The question you'll be asking right now is, how is GDP and renewable energy connected? In 1985, Malaysia experienced a major structural transformation in its economy due to the implementation of the industrial plan. During this period, Malaysia experienced a shift from agriculture industry to the manufacturing industry. This saw a rise in demand for energy. However, Malaysia was able to tap into its oil reserves and fulfill this demand at the time. But because oil can't be replenished, it is an unreliable source of energy. This is where renewable energy takes its place. Because the fact that renewable energy is renewable and it is less harmful to the environment, it is a great alternative to oil. However, because renewable energy is still not able to provide the huge quantities of energy that oil can provide, it will not be able to fulfill the energy demands of Malaysia, at least not on its own. Malaysia introduced the 5-fuel diversification strategy in 2001. Its objective was to balance the utilization between oil, gas, hydro, coal, and renewable energy, to not only fulfill the energy demand in Malaysia, but also to increase the GDP of Malaysia by exporting some of the energy sources. If Malaysia was to shift completely to using just renewable energy, it would mean that it will have to stop exporting oil and gas, which would damage its GDP. And because renewable energy is unable to produce huge quantities of energy, there would be a shortage of energy, which would cause factories to close or work part-time, which would also have a negative impact on Malaysia's GDP. So until renewable energy is able to provide huge quantities of energy, it is not recommended for Malaysia to shift entirely to renewable energy just yet.
So in conclusion, the renewable energy can be a significant impact on the Malaysian economy. Malaysia must maximize the use of renewable energy to sustain its economy in the long run. Renewable energy should be a solution to resolve the issues such as global warming and health consequences which Malaysian environment has faced so far. Coal and oil import has a significant impact on the Malaysian energy, which affects its economy. So the focus is more to on the renewable energy, which is important to sustain the energy resources. Since Malaysia is having one of the fastest greenhouse gas emission in the world, it has a huge potential in renewable energy resources, giving a boost to its economy. Malaysian energy subsides reform is among the most useful strategies which have led the reduction in energy consumption, which is CO2 emission, and overall decrease in oil and gas demands. Furthermore, carbon taxation and regulation are proposed proposed to separate CO2 emissions from energy consumptions. Policymakers should have taken steps to impose a carbon tax on fossil fuels in order to restrict the use of the carbon-intensive fuels. This is done by promoting the use of renewable energy such as windmills, solar panels, palm oil and biomasses, as well as nuclear energy.
That is all from us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.